Great, thank you. So this is my first tech field day. I understand this is a great place to launch a company, and so this is where we're doing it. Exablox is a company that's been around for just about 2 years. We were funded in May of 2011 by Norwest Ventures and Dahl Capital Management, and I joined the company at that time. I'd been an executive with a very large network security manufacturer where I'd shipped 1.5 million network security appliances through 12,000 channel partners to companies that had between, say, 50 and 5,000 employees. And I got a really good understanding of what was happening in the mid-market IT space and what was happening in the channel that served that space. And one of the things that I realized during my 8 years was there was this giant hole in IT in general around the fact that there were a lot of products that were designed for high-end enterprise users that these folks just couldn't adopt despite their needing the features. And yet at the same time, no company was doing anything to go serve these guys. And so we did a great job of doing that in the network security space, but what became clear to me is there was no one doing that in the storage space. And I looked for 8 years to go acquire a company that could go make that happen and to bring that vision to reality. And I couldn't find one. And so after that company was sold, I was contacted by some VCs who said, we have a company that's got this great vision for how to bring a really feature-rich experience around storage into an environment in which you may not have a lot of storage expertise, or you may be resource constrained. Are you interested? To which I said, hell yeah. For me, this was a vision that I'd had for a long time and thought would be something that was extremely compelling. So I came to join Exablox. It's founded by Tad Hunt, who's going to speak here in a minute. Tad's going to give you a deep dive into all the technology behind the product that we're offering today. And then Sean Darrington will come up and actually demo the technology for you and hopefully demonstrate to you just how easy our solution is. So what was it that we set out to build? Well, we took a look at what was happening in the storage market for folks that traditionally don't get a lot of attention, right? And we realized we had people who were migrating from having their big storage problem be, say, Exchange, to having their big storage problem be, hey, I've got 20 terabytes of unstructured data coming at me over the next year. What am I going to do about it, right? I've got, backup problems and archiving problems and offsite disaster recovery problems that I just can't get a handle on. I've got distributed users that I need to serve in a collaboration environment. I don't have a way to deal with that storage. And the conversation was shifting from sort of traditional structured storage conversations to a much broader unstructured conversation at much, much larger volumes. And so, what Tad and the guys did is, they had this idea about, hey, object storage could solve a lot of these problems for folks, but you'd have to make it accessible and usable in some way. And so the first thing we did when we got there is to go really head out and talk to a couple dozen customers before, we settled on any particular product definition. And we learned a lot of things from them. What we learned from them was, they wanted and needed ability to scale capacity on demand. They wanted Isilon-style features, but have those features available in something that they could afford and digest. They needed scale-out capability, right? They wanted deduplication functionality, right? They were tired of having to call in their VAR or storage specialist anytime somebody needed to bring back a snapshot or recover a file or get the data backup, right? They wanted to go democratize the access to that sort of thing. And so we said to ourselves, great, well, what could we do to bring storage that you could replicate and deduplicate and scale out and have all these great features and deliver it to these people? And we said, well, there's a big adoption barrier, right? How do you make it manageable for folks? How do you make it configurable, installable? And so, on one hand, we've had to spend a lot of IP around building a storage stack and a file system that deliver those kinds of features. But at the same time, we've also had to invest very, very heavily in management systems that allow people to adopt the product and make it usable, not just by end users, but also usable by a value-added reseller and system integrator and MSP community who will be able to bring those solutions to their end users. And so that's really what Exablox has been all about. So today, we get to announce our product to the world. And for us, this is a really big thing. We've been working on it for years, and we're just overflowing with excitement. We think this product is better than bacon. Which I understand is a reference.
There are few things Tech Field Day feels are better than bacon.
I know, and that's how much we're putting on this, is that we think it's better than bacon. And we're happy to roll it out to you today.